It's game time! Hello, everybody, and welcome to V Soccer News, the only soccer news show hosted by a VTuber. I am your host, Desiderio Ultra, and today I thought it'd be fun to go over the USMNT's 2026 World Cup roster. Can this lineup win a World Cup? Let's find out! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, this was the tweet that US Soccer used to announce the roster. What was it? I just wanted to see this because this kinda sucks. This looks like a generic MCU movie roster. What was it? Movie poster, if I'm being honest. What was it? I don't understand this style of like picture editing. Just stack a million people on top of each other, and put some weird lighting effects around them. You know what I'm talking about. They did it for Endgame, and yeah, what was it? Uh, oh crap. Yep, check that out. But basically, they wanted to announce the roster yesterday, which they did do. They had US Soccer worked with Fox News, or no, Fox 1 or whatever, to have like a full 1 hour like TV special type thing to announce the roster, which I think is cool. I thought that was really neat, conceptually. But what was it? The wind kind of got taken out of a lot of people's sails when the roster ended up getting leaked to The Guardian like a couple of days in advance. And it's like, it's like, come on, can US Soccer not do anything right? You actually have kind of a fun idea here. What was it? And it just gets totally ruined because someone you were working with couldn't keep their mouth shut. Oh, God. That's US Soccer for you. Let's go through the positions, starting with goalkeepers. So in net, we will have Matt Freese from New York City FC, Matt Turner from the New England Revolution, and Chris Brady from the Chicago Fire. Now, this has been talked about at nauseum, I feel like, among US fans. But what was it? Yeah. I think I read an article recently that like this is the first time in about like 20 years, I think, where the US's starting goalkeeper will be playing in MLS. And it's like, yeah, what was it? For everything people say about the US when it comes to soccer, oh, we don't have a good soccer culture, we don't put out great players. We have put out pretty decent goalkeepers in the past, better than decent. Tim Howard was pretty good. Brad Friedel, Casey Keller had his moments. So yeah, we were pretty good when it came to goalkeepers, but as we've gotten better in other positions, like what was it, forwards and midfielders, we've kind of regressed a bit when it comes to goalkeepers, and there's a lot of theories as to why this is. I'm not really sure myself. Maybe the way that we train goalkeepers just hasn't improved, the way it has for other positions. I don't know. What was it? It could be anything. Let me know what you think. We are so yeah, we're still bringing what was it? Matt Turner, unfortunately. Like, don't get me wrong, he's had his moments in the past, but his best years are clearly behind him. Was it? He's kind of been usurped by Matt Freese, who I personally feel will be our starting goalkeeper. Yeah. And then you have Chris Brady, who is the youngest, what was it, out of the three goalkeepers. What was it? I like him. I really do. Obviously, I don't expect him to play much at this World Cup, but, what was it? I think he's got room to improve. I think he could be our starter, in 2030. But, what was it? Time will tell. We'll have to see how things go with him. Next up, we have defenders. This is a... Hmm. Out of all the positions, I'd say this is the one I am second most concerned about. Well, all right. Well, okay. I'm not concerned about our fullbacks really, but what was it? It's mostly our center backs I'm a bit concerned about. We'll talk about it. Let's see. Oh yeah, Max Arfston from Columbus Crew, Serginho Dest from PSV, Alex Freeman from Villarreal, Mark McKenzie from Toulouse, Tim Reen from Charlotte FC, Chris Richards from Crystal Palace, Anthony Robinson from Fulham, Miles Robinson, his brother from FC Cincinnati, Joe Skelly from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and Austin Trusty from Celtic. So yeah, what was it? If I had to name our starting, what was it, defensive lineup, it's obviously Dest, what was it, Richards, Anthony Robinson, and then probably Trusty. I don't know, what was it? I'm gonna be honest, what was it? I feel like Chris. Yeah, well, so a lot of people have said this, but yeah, Chris Richards, I'd say, is probably our only legitimately good defender. What was it? He's always been pretty consistent for the U.S., and he's had pretty good previous seasons. Eh. But yeah, what was it? I'm just really not sure who's gonna partner him. A lot of people are saying Trusty, but if I'm being honest, I don't really rate Trusty that highly. But like I said, I don't really rate any of our other defenders that high, any of our other center backs that highly. So, eh. All right. Well, to Trusty's credit, he did just win the Scottish Premiership with Celtic. But what was it? It is Celtic, and it is the Scottish Premiership, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. They did, although Hearts did put up a lot of fight this season. You do gotta give them credit for that. It was a pretty cool race. Yeah. And for fullbacks, we obviously have Serginho Dest, who, yeah, what was it, has had a pretty good season for PSV. I mean, I don't think, not amazing by any means, but pretty good. Yeah, what was it? I remember there was a lot of hype. There was a lot of hype, especially among US fans when, what was it, he was bought by Barca. And, I was excited too. I got a bit caught up in the hype too. I'm a Barca fan, I'm American. It just kind of caught me like that, and I don't think I don't think his time there was as bad as some people say, but yeah, it really wasn't great. Looking back, yeah, I really don't think Serginho Dest was ever gonna be a Barca level player. And it sucks to say, but yeah, what was it? I still think he is a decent player. Yeah, what was it? Is whether or not the Eredivisie is his ceiling, I don't know. What was it? We'll have to see. We'll have to see where he ends up. And Anthony Robinson as our starting, what was it, fullbacks at the right and the left perspective, respectively. Yeah, what was it? After him, well, okay. You have both Alex Freeman and Joe Scally, who are mostly right backs usually, so I'm not really sure. I don't know. Part of me feels like Joe Scally is going to be, what was it, our second fullback, but I don't know. I feel like Alex Freeman has done pretty well. I feel like Alex Freeman has done pretty well for Villarreal for his first season, or for his first half season. I think he's shown good improvement in the short time he's been there. I don't know, maybe he deserves it. We'll have to see. What was it? Max Arfston will likely be the backup to, what was it, Robinson. I don't know, man. I don't know, what was it? I guess, what was it? I also don't hate Arfston as much as a lot of US fans do. But he's definitely just not really World Cup quality. I think the fact that we're having to bring him shows that the US still isn't really where it wants to be in terms of soccer. I mean, that's just true of a lot of players on this roster. But like, it's not really his fault. I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like this generation of US players got a bit overhyped early on, I guess. I don't know, what was it? The term golden generation, I remember, gets thrown around a lot. And it's like, I don't know, what was it? I will say, this is our first, probably, I guess, good generation. Well, what was it? Obviously, no offense to guys like Tim Howard that I talked about before. But in terms of, like, every position on the pitch, we have good players at pretty much every position, is what I mean. I feel like we didn't really have that before this. But, none of these guys are really world beaters, if I'm being honest. And, but it does show that we're taking steps in the right direction, Hopefully the next generation will be that, golden generation that we were promised. Next up, midfielders. We have Tyler Adams from AFC Bournemouth, Sebastian Berhalter from Vancouver Whitecaps, Weston McKennie from Juventus, Christian Roldan from Seattle Sounders, Brendan Aronson from Leeds United, Christian Pulisic from AC Milan, Gio Reyna from Borussia Mönchengladbach, Malik Tillman from Bayer Leverkusen, Tim Weah from Marseille, and Alejandro Zendejas from Club America. Uh, so yeah, what was it? This is pretty good, or it's all right. What was it? I don't know. In terms of attacking midfielders, what was it? More, forward midfielders and wingers. We're pretty good. What was it? Obviously, there's a bit of a concern with Pulisic. As you probably know, he hasn't actually scored a goal in 2026. Yeah, his form kind of fell off in the latter half of the season. But, what was it? He's still Captain America, he's usually come through pretty well for the US. He's our talisman. So, of course, he was going to make the team, and I do believe he will be a star player for us in 2026. What was it? I remember, what was it? He was involved in all of our goals in the 2022 World Cup. We didn't score a lot of them, but he was involved in all of them, I think says a lot, really. Our other, what was it? For attacking midfielders, we obviously have, what was it? Brendan Aronson, Gio Reyna, and Malik Tillman. Yeah, what was it? So obviously, the big name that people are talking about is Gio Reyna, who has not played much for club. He has not played much for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and when he has played, he has not particularly impressed, which has been the story of Reyna's career for a good few seasons at this point. And even with that, he has still always produced well for the national team. What was it? Um, what was it? Especially when we go up against low blocks, he's good at unlocking defenses when it comes to that kind of stuff. Which, in the group stage, we are definitely going to go up against a couple of low blocks. Obviously, not against Turkey, but yeah, what was it? Against Australia. Yeah, what was it? We are likely to go up against some low blocks. So he is going to be a good player to have for that. Malik Tillman. He has been a bit he has been a bit disappointing at Leverkusen, hasn't really played that well. I don't know, what was it? What was it? It's like the story of this US generation is like, a lot of promise, but not really living up to it well. It's like, Malik Tillman was one of those ones, he was with Bayern and things just weren't working out. He went to PSV and he did play well. He played great in the Eredivisie, but his time with Bayer has just not, what was it, not gone well. What was it? I'm afraid, I don't know, maybe the Eredivisie is just his level, and it's like, what was it? And that's not a bad level to be at, honestly, but, it's not amazing, Like I said, the story of this generation when it comes to US players is, a lot of promise, but not really living up to it much. Aside from maybe like a couple of players. So what was it? We also, of course, have Brendan Aronson, who has had a pretty good season for Leeds, honestly. What was it? I think, what was it, 4 goals, 5 assists? Yeah, that's not bad for an attacking midfielder. Yeah, what was it? He's done pretty well for them. I love what was it? I love the straight there's this other stream, the straight red card. They call him Dark Brendan. I always love that. I love those guys. But yeah, what was it? And then let's see. We of course have Weston McKennie, who does often play as an attacking midfielder for the US, but he is very versatile, as been said. He can play at a couple of different midfield positions, and it is highly likely that he starts in a double pivot alongside what the hell? Alongside the Bournemouth man, Tyler Adams. I don't know why that keeps happening. the Bournemouth man Tyler Adams, who has had a pretty good season. What was it? Helping Bournemouth to reach European football for the first time in a long time, I think. What was it? I saw a tweet saying it's been like how many years since Bournemouth has played in Europe, or no? Is this the first time Bournemouth's playing in Europe? I don't actually remember that. Actually, yeah. What was it? I'm pretty sure this is the first time Bournemouth has played in a European competition. So yeah, what was it? Tyler Adams, Bournemouth. Tyler Adams making history. So yeah, what was it? He is he is probably our best defensive midfielder. What was it? And there is some controversy around that because because the other what was it? Our other option at defensive midfield is Sebastian Berhalter and possibly Christian Roldan sometimes. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like hating on Christian Roldan. What was it? He's a fellow Salvadoran American just like me, so, I kind of feel a need to go a bit easy on him. But he is just not World Cup quality. I think the fact that we brought him to two of these, I don't know. I feel like says a lot about where we are in terms of soccer. It's like, I don't know. We are not anywhere close to winning a World Cup. Is just the point I'm getting at. I don't know. And obviously, most and what was it? Despite what people say, obviously most US fans don't really believe we have a chance at winning the World Cup. But yeah, what was it? I don't know. I mean, Pochettino certainly thinks we do. He's been talking about that, which, all right, what was it? To be fair, I do think he's supposed to talk like that. What was it? He's done a bunch of interviews where he's like, if you're gonna go into a competition, you should go into a competition expecting to win. I think I don't know, I think that's a good mentality for the team to have, but I don't think it's a good mentality for the fans to have. I think if you're actually playing in a tournament, obviously you should be giving your 100%, fully expecting to win. But I do think fans should have more realistic expectations. Especially, when you're a fan of a country that doesn't really have great, soccer pedigree like the US. So yeah, what was it? There is some controversy because what was it? Another one of our defensive midfielders, Tanner Tessman, who currently plays for Leon in Ligue A, was left off of the roster. Now he did have a bit of an injury, but what was it? Physios did say that he will heal enough in time to be ready for the World Cup. So people aren't so either they're wrong or what was it? They decided to leave him off the roster for some other reason. And I think recently, I think it was yesterday, I think Pochettino was asked about why Tanner Tessman was left off the roster, and he just kind of dodged the question. He was like, I think you should ask questions about the players that are here, not the players that aren't, or something like that, he said. So yeah, I don't know. What was it? Either Tanner Tessman's injury is a lot worse than, what was it, the fan base thinks it is, or there's something else going on. I don't know. Maybe Pochettino just doesn't rate him. Who knows? And of course, we did have a big loss in this position with Johnny Cardoso from Atletico Madrid. What was it? He is also injured, but unlike Tanner Tessman, he will not be fit in time for the World Cup. So he unfortunately could not make the plane. Yeah. And then lastly, we have Alejandro Zendejas from Club America. What was it? So yeah, what was it? He's played pretty well for America as as he tends to do. Uh I don't know, what was it? I feel like yeah, what was it? I'm all right with his inclusion. He's more of a winger, and what was it? At the moment, I feel like the play at the moment, I feel like the US plays best without wingers when it's just using attacking midfielders. But what was it? I don't know. If you do have to have one player who's like an out and out winger, Alejandro Zendejas probably is our best. Well, it is probably a good option. Was it? And Tim Weah, who can also play as a winger, but this season has been mostly playing as a fullback for Marseille. Alright. So yeah. And finally, on to the strikers. We have Fullerene Balogun from AS Monaco, Ricardo Pepi from PSV, and Haji Wright from Coventry City. So yeah, what was it? I feel like this was the easiest position, honestly. It's like it was only ever gonna be these three guys, you know? It's like Fuller and Balogun finished the season with, I believe, 13 or 14 goals. Yeah, well, I believe he finished the season as AS Monaco's top scorer, which, is good. But, he plays for a League A team, which isn't PSG, which, so, no one really watches him. Oh, yeah, what was it? Then, of course, you have Ricardo Pepi, who I believe also ended the season as PSV's top goal scorer. He got about like 15, 16 goals. But remember, he is playing in the Eredivisie, so yeah, what was it? Gotta take that into consideration. And finally, you have Haji Wright, who has had a terrific season. He has also ended as Coventry City's top goal scorer with, I believe, 16 or 17 goals. Yeah, what was it? Helping them make it all the way back to the Premier League for, what'd they say? First time in like 10 years or so? 15? I don't remember. What was it? He was a big help in them reaching the Premier League. That's the point. How well both him and, Coventry City as a whole will play in the Premier League, I don't know. That's yet to be seen. What was it? Yeah, what was it? Obviously, I am kind of rooting for them to do well. I like Haji, and what was it? I think Frank Lampard's. I think it would be cool for Lampard to get a bit of a redemption story. After how things went, with Chelsea and all that. But yeah, I don't know. Part of me kind of thinks they might just get sent right back down. Who knows? We've seen that happen so many times, especially in recent years. But what was it? In the last couple of seasons, we have seen some, promoted teams do pretty well. Do pretty well. What was it? Sunderland is obviously doing pretty good right now. Yeah, what was it? We'll have to see how things go. So yeah, what was it? Fullerene Balogun will likely be our starting striker, as he has been for, yeah, what was it? Pretty much the entirety of Pochettino's time as coach. But yeah, what was it? I think striker probably is our best position. What was it? All three of our strikers that we're bringing to the World Cup have finished their seasons as their club's top goal scorer. For Ricardo Pepi, I think it's especially impressive since he spent a fair amount of the season injured. Yeah, he's been out with a lot of injuries and still managed to be PSV's top scorer. So yeah, what was it? And obviously, neither of them play at exceptionally high levels. You have League you have the Eredivisie and the Championship. But what was it? Those aren't bad levels to be at, especially for the US. Beggars can't exactly be choosers. But yeah, what was it? I do honestly think striker is probably our strongest position. So yeah, what was it? That was the whole roster. So yeah, overall, it's an all right roster. Honestly, I don't know. What was it? What was it? I think we can definitely make it at least to the round of 16, honestly. What was it? I fully believe we're going to beat Australia and Paraguay. I fully believe we're going to beat the two of them. Turkey, I don't know. Maybe we could pull an upset, maybe we could, but I don't know. I really don't. What was it? Part of me is pretty pessimistic about that one. What was it? I really don't see us beating Turkey. But if we do beat Paraguay and Australia, we will make it. We will likely make it to the round of 32. Who exactly? God, who will we face in the round of 32? I don't actually remember. But yeah, what was it? Oh, hey there, Fortescue. It's basically a mid roster. Yeah, it's a mid roster. I mean, yeah, to put it bluntly, it's a mid roster. I feel like, what was it? We could definitely make it to the round of 32, maybe to the round of 16. I do fully believe we can make it to the round of 16. After that, it's going to be a bit tougher. Obviously, I don't want to see the US get another round of 16 finish, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Pochettino manages to legitimately pull off a miracle. Who knows? But what was it? I mean, this is still improvements. I mean, a mid roster is better than the rosters we've had before. So yeah, I talked about it before. But yeah, what was it? This generation of US players, I do feel was a bit overhyped. I feel like, the term golden generation got thrown around a bit easily. But I do think this is probably our first legitimately good generation. Like, we have legitimately good players at every position who are playing in Europe at decently high levels. Serginho Dest, what was it? Chris Richards in defense, what was it? Pulisic, McKennie, what was it? Balogun. I feel like this is the US's first legitimately good generation. Which, I do feel like we're on the right path. How the next generation will turn out, can't really say yet, but hopefully it will be another step, in the right direction. Thanks for watching the video to the end. If you enjoyed yourself, why not leave a like, comment, and subscribe? And check out a full stream either here on YouTube or over at Desiderio Ultra at twitch.tv. Hope to see you there. Vamola!